Kingdom Rush Alliance is the 5th installment of Kingdom Rush Tower Defense game saga, let's say. Here I am, reviewing it with 100% brutal honesty, what I think about the game, and I have spent almost 100 hours into this game as a beta tester too. So what are we waiting for? Let's get into it. Let's start off with the levels. I have played this game so many times and beaten the same level several times while beta testing, and genuinely what I have felt is the game has a lot much longer duration in a specific level, and truly saying that Vengeance had the same thing with it, but Vengeance waves felt a lot much boring. And Kingdom Rush Alliance is a game where it won't get boring at any point, as you always need to be ready to micro your heroes, which gets me to the point where heroes are one of the most essential part of the entire game in Kingdom Rush Alliance. In most of the other games, you put your hero at one location, you don't have to micro him that much until unless you're a very high skilled player, you always micro them. But in most games, amount of microing you need to do, it's necessary to do, is very less compared to Kingdom Rush Alliance. You always have to keep moving your heroes so you can keep your strategy working on, as heroes become a very big part of your entire strategy. And with it, you don't even have any of the superpowers like Rain of Fire, the fireballs, thundering, and let's say the soul impact from Kingdom Rush Vengeance, which makes your hero's super ability or the abilities a lot much more impactful into your entire game, which makes me really like the part of entire Kingdom Rush game. Next point is very simple and one of my favorite ones, genuinely, which this game is not pay to win. Here's the thing: Vengeance, you get few really good towers like the Blazing Gem. You can just beat the game with only that thing, which makes yourself so much powerful. Where in Kingdom Rush Alliance, you don't see that. Even if you have paid towers, it does not affect your game at all, unless it's a level like final boss fight, the Overseer. Grim Raids tend to be really big game changer on that one. That's the only part, but most of the game doesn't really have that, as free heroes, every single thing is so good balanced. I haven't seen a game so much well balanced with the tower styles in any of the Kingdom Rush game. And as far as you could ask me, the difficulty of the game somewhat resides same as Origins. It's not too hard, nor it's too easy. Kingdom Rush Alliance is a game which you won't be replaying it because you lost, but it's a game which is harder to win at 20 hearts. So that's something which I really like about the game. But there are also downfalls, which I'll be talking a little bit further in the video, so stay tuned about that. But yes, for now, I would say the entire balance between the paid and the free heroes and towers is pretty much great. When you buy the dragons, you should expect the game to be more easier. They unlock after you've beaten the Overseer and Steam version, and there is a very good reason about that. They did it, I'm glad. So yes, that's one of the main reasons why dragons are there. If you want a little bit of, offense from your side to make the game easy, you can buy the dragons. Now, third point, lore. Lore is always my favorite part when it comes to Kingdom Rush games. As you have seen my channel, most of the content about Kingdom Rush is lore. I have created so many lore videos about so many characters. I love lore of the game, and I really like how the entire lore just progresses, and I even have my own theories which you can check it out on my channel, let's say. But for now, I would say the lore is very great. I like how it progresses, and we get a cliffhanger at the end, one of my favorites. I mean, always up to Kingdom Rush for that, as it's mine. And here's even better reason for you to buy Kingdom Rush Alliance, as when it comes to the price of the game, I heard so many players complaining how costlier the game was, and I got the game for free. by Overhyped Game Studios as a beta tester, so I really appreciate them for doing that. But here's the thing, I have checked up the price for Steam. In my price personally is quite a little bit too much for what we are getting, and people also say that the game is too short for its price. Here's the thing, guys, okay, no Kingdom Rush game has ever released with all of the updates. The reason behind it is pretty simple. If a game releases with all of the updates in, the main thing which will happen is game will have more chances to die off very quickly. There will be literally no update in the game for mostly forever, let's say, until they plan to add a DLC or something into the game like Vengeance. So the game will just die, and for betterment of the game to stay in its gaming community and making people always hyped up about the future updates, they always must not release the entire game with the update, and they are already saying it. I made a podcast with the Overhyped Game Studios community manager where we talk Kingdom Rush Alliance will have more updates in future, and we have only gotten 50% of the content in this game, so expect almost 15 more levels into the game, which will be more than enough, almost same as Vengeance. So here's the thing, if you want to buy the game, I would highly recommend you to go for Steam version, but if you cannot afford it, go for mobile version, as even the free things are not bad. You're getting four of the best heroes in the game. I am actually working on my tier list. I just need to put a lot of efforts into that one to understand more, you know, but still I'm gonna say this, the entire heroes you get in free are really great. Even the towers work really well. You can even beat the game with these 4 towers very much easily, genuinely saying. So there isn't a really big a difference between the paid and that, as I already covered in this video. And now let's talk about downfalls of this game, let's say. So I have played so many Kingdom Rush games. I have been playing it from my childhood, and there is one major thing which is lacking in Kingdom Rush Alliance as far as I have felt. Kingdom Rush Alliance isn't a game which you have to replay the level because you couldn't beat it. You lost all of the hearts. And that's something which I haven't felt in such a long time in Kingdom Rush. Kingdom Rush Alliance doesn't have that feeling. It doesn't have that critical or brutal challenge which you get. I am judging the game based on what it is right now, with no extra campaigns added. I'm not sure what this opinion might change, but for now, the final boss fight, Overseer, had lot much more potential than what it could have. Instead, I found the Umbra boss fight lot much more harder than compared to this, as Umbra was so hard, he destroyed towers so much more frequent, which makes him more threatening, while Overseer barely destroys a tower spot. He may switch up the tower placements, but in reality, if you have Grim Raids, it's basically like you've already beaten the entire boss fight, as you can just switch the places of the tower like it was a piece of cake. That is one of the main reasons I feel with all of the boss fights. They could have been more better if they make it more harder with more twists and turns. The game doesn't feel that much challenging as it could have. That's what I feel so far, and that's something what Overhyped Game Studio could take up as a review and implement in their future games, and this is what I feel like. Overall, as per the cost of the game and what I have felt out with the balance of the game, I really like it, but this is one of the points which I genuinely feel can be improved in the game. Okay, I'm not being the biased or anything like so, I'm just being straight up honest here. Out of 10, I would rate this game straight up 8.5 out of 10. The only part which I feel it lacks is hard game, which I used to feel in Kingdom Rush Frontiers and even in Kingdom Rush first game. In Kingdom Rush Origins, the game was almost mediocre. Kingdom Rush Vengeance was just too easy, and Kingdom Rush Alliance is somewhat similar to the Kingdom Rush Origins level, let's say. It's somewhere a little bit above as a main campaign. It is kind of really hard, but the final boss fight and the most of the boss fights of the game through. A lot much simple. I really love the Dinas boss fight, as we get to use West End. Genuinely saying they could have been more harder, but they aren't, let's say. And yeah, that's what I think about this entire game. If you want to buy it, I highly recommend you to go for it. And you could even play other Kingdom Rush games to know more about the lore, and I have made even so many lore videos. You can even suggest me in comments down below, as I always like to hear what my community wants to see. I always try to deliver the content they want on this channel, so make sure you hit that subscribe button with notifications on, because very small percentage of people who actually watches my video subscribes. So if you could just hit that subscribe button, it could help me out a ton. And go and check out my other videos, as you will enjoy that one. And that's gonna be me, Prahant, signing out of this one. Until there, keep on rushing.